Welcome to season 7 of the It Factor podcast. New stories, new guests. If you want to come on a podcast where you can tell your stories, where you can talk how you want to talk, 7 years in, come on the It Factor podcast. And also, the motto is still the same: to keep changing the narrative. If you're ready for great conversations, welcome home.
It's an honor to have you back, man, for the third time. You family now, we didn't
appreciate it
in person, we didn't did it virtual, and to see now, just to see where your game has went, it's like now it's like, I ain't gonna say it's easier, and then of course it gets harder as time goes, but it's just a testament to who you are. So I commend you.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
I like how you impact too, bro. You be helping the kids, man. Like you doing it. You're doing everything you talked about. You doing it. Plus,
yeah, I appreciate it. I'm trying, bro. Definitely, when you're saying like that, it makes me reflect. Like, dang, I think you get caught up just in the motion of doing it, and then you just kind of forget of everything. But when I look at like old pictures or old stuff on Instagram, or like what you said, I'd be like, dang, like everything I was saying some years ago, I'm doing it, and got some more to do too. So that's exciting. So,
indeed.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, welcome back to the Infant Podcast, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
It's a blessing to have you, bro, and you family, man. You my little bro, so definitely got my questions out. But I'm just proud of you, man. That's how I got to start, man. So introduce yourself again. People already know who you are, but definitely.
Shamar Bridges, Fort Valley State alum, Fort Valley State graduate, man, out of Jacksonville, Florida, professional football player. Like I said, after I played some years at Fort Valley, played a couple years with Baltimore Ravens, and then that led me up to Canada. I played a couple years up there. Now I'm going to play my third year starting in June up there with the Hamilton Tiger Cats. So I'm going to go to my 5th year as a pro, man. Man, it's a blessing. I'm here. I'm breathing. I'm living. Just doing what I'm doing, man. I'm thankful. So God is good.
That's good, man. So with that being said, man, how are you doing mentally, physically, and emotionally?
I'm doing good, man. I mean, of course, everybody got their little days and stuff, especially in this sport, in this business. You go through kind of sometimes where things can get tough or frustrating, but overall, I'm actually good now. Like I'm blessed. Like I said, to still have a job doing what I'm doing. I mean, it's such a tough business. So many, it's not many spots, and to still last. And where I come from, I come from small high school, small college. I beat the odds, man. So, even when times do get a little frustrating, I still have that perspective of being thankful and blessed. And so I'm good emotionally. I'm good. I'm thankful. I'm blessed. Like I said, I got my family, everybody with me. Everybody's still rolling with me. All my friends I've been had, like we all still tight. And then physically, I'm healthy. Like I ain't got no injuries. I ain't coming off no rehabbing, and I ain't did that in a minute. Always, even after a good season, I always had something I had to get right. So now I feel good. So I'm rolling.
Yeah, look good too. I seen you. I be seeing it.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Look at bro. Look at what that doing. You look younger. That's what it is. That's the crazy part. You look.
I think it's treat my body, man, and stretching and doing all that stuff. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to look younger the more years I go. Trying to.
So, tell us about your faith in God. How it has guided you, thus far.
Boy, that's been the foundation, the firm foundation of all this. Excuse me. There you go. My bad. So yeah, it's been the firm foundation of everything for me. Without my faith, man, I wouldn't be where I am today without God. All glory and honor to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Man, without him, without just being able to lean on that, and be able to fall back on that word, fall back on different verses when times get tough. I always fall back on Galatians 6:9, which is kind of like, it's saying like, don't grow weary and doing good, for in due time you will reap a harvest. So anytime, you just frustrated or just going through a tough time, or anytime you just in your profession or whatnot, you're going through a moment where you're just trying to get it right, I fall back on that, because God telling you just like, keep doing the right thing. I'm gonna bless you. And just other verses, man. And then having also was very important for me is having other people in my life, family and friends that also have that faith and I can talk to them and lean on them or, uh, you know, I think I'm trying to do better at that, trying to talk to people and lean on like they having those discussions. And I think I've gotten better at that a little bit with my friends and family. But yeah, my faith is the biggest thing. My high school really installed that into me, and then I carried that on, and then now I'm just getting better at just being consistent in certain things and continuously just trying to stay disciplined. And I think the discernment has grown over the years to see out certain things. And shoot, now I'm just trying to grow and be mature in my faith every day. So
same, man. Definitely
yeah,
got to.
so yeah,
Always something to learn.
yeah,
Always something to get better,
always.
and I say, what went through your mind? I've seen you got your few accolades here. Frank M. Gibson Trophy. Was named CFL East All Star.
Yeah,
Ricky Man came out there and did your thing.
yeah.
So what went through your mind when those things did come through? Like, dang, this really happened.
Oh man, it was just like a testament of just all the hard work coming true because like before I won that award, I was probably going through the toughest moment of my life. One of the toughest moment of my life. I was coming out of the Baltimore in 2023,
Mm-hmm.
and that was a a blessing and a blessing and a tough camp at the same time in 2023 because I came off of 2022 and everything worked real well, and I was on the up. And then 23 came, and we had brought in a ton of vets and a whole bunch of guys, and so I kind of got buried on the roster just
Yeah.
by default. And now I'm trying to just see the light in all this and trying to figure everything out. And then I get hurt, messed my MCL out, MCL up, so now I got to sit out for a little bit and ended up, not being with the Ravens no more. And then got back from the MCL, worked out with another team, not gonna say who. That ended up going well, and I thought I was gonna get signed with them, and they ended up just not signing me. You know what I mean? Time went by, and other teams was saying this and saying that, but I'm just kind of getting a runaround. And so now months are going by, and I'm like, dang, is this really gonna be me? Like, I ain't think it was gonna happen to me. Like, shoot, just a year ago, everything was lit, and so now I'm trying to figure out what's going on with my career. And so I had hit a real low because I'm just like, I think people think like it's just like, oh, it's just football. It's like, nah, it's like it's my job. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if I don't find another job, like I don't really know what I'm gonna do next. So I got to figure it out. Like things hit me fast. I just got out of college not too long ago. Everything's on the up. This was all I'm putting my all in this. And then the CFL came calling, Hamilton came calling, and they gave me the opportunity. And then I was like thinking about it, still trying to see about the NFL. And then when I was just taking too long, me and my agent was like, we just gonna just take it. And so I went from like really depressed to like I think just me making decisions and knowing like I had a new challenge, a new opportunity,
Mm-hmm.
took the weight off my shoulders. And then I went up there and I fell in love with it, with the country, with the game, with the people, and I absolutely love it and enjoy it up there. And then so that year was such a special year for me because I came from hitting rock bottom to now getting an award, getting most catches by a first year player in franchise history. I was a couple catches away from breaking the league record, different just accolades and stuff. And I'm like, wow, like I always feel I can do that type of stuff, but I think like at the same time, you still got to prove it to yourself. And so when I did it, I was just like, wow. So it was just like a full circle moment because people don't understand what I was just going through the year before. And
Definitely.
then, but during that whole time, I was grinding super hard. I was working hard. And even through me going through a lot of depression and stuff. And then when I found out the opportunity, I just hit it. And then next thing you know, I go up there and it's all paying off. And so it was just kind of like a full circle moment. I think it was like just trusting God. Just like he showed me to just trust God and his plan. You never know what he's got. And then now it's like I love it up there, and I don't have no care to go back to the NFL or nothing like that. So, uh, dude, it was a blessing, bro.
That's what's up, bro.
Yeah,
I'm proud of you
yeah,
for that, because
yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
it is a lot to go through, but the way you persevere through it,
Yeah,
that's a testament, you know. I'm glad I was able to stay in here. Me and my folks was praying.
Yeah,
Like, man,
yeah,
dang, what's going on?
yeah,
Dang, man, all right. Well,
yeah, yeah,
things happen. But to see where you
yeah,
are now,
yeah,
I'm like, hey, God, what you gonna do next?
yeah,
So
exactly,
that'd be the
exactly.
coolest thing. That'd be the coolest thing.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. That's my
See,
mindset toward too.
yeah, I say that, man. I say to you,
Yeah.
man, how do you stay grounded in faith, with your
Mm,
family and all during the season, being away? Because you
yeah.
folks in Florida, so like, how do you stay
Mm-hmm.
grounded, different?
How do I stay grounded in my faith?
Hmm.
Man, I just got that voice in my head that's always telling me, like, I just that's the Holy Spirit always telling me, man, just to stay in your word, stay in that Bible. When anytime I feel like everybody's experienced that, when you feel like you know, you know, you know, got a little too ahead of yourself or whatnot, like God gonna let you know in your mind, like, hey man, like humble down or humble up, you know what I'm saying? Get right. So I always had that discernment and that voice in my head to like get my word, get my devotional, just to stay down, stay humble. And if I did have like a day or something where I feel like I'm not as involved as I should be, I always got that feeling in my heart, like I'm like, I need to tighten up. So I feel like that's just the Holy Spirit tugging on me, and I'm thankful I had that because that's discernment. I know I got the spirit within me, you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Because I feel it. I feel it when I need to tighten up or I need to get right. So that's pretty much what it is. And then, like I said, I got the people in my life, man, that will always, give me good words of encouragement. My mom and all my rest of my family and friends and everybody, they're always going to, just point me in the right direction too, if they ever, see me needing anything. So yeah,
What's up, man?
yeah,
Yeah,
for
bro.
sure.
I love the young man you definitely have been becoming.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
You know,
Sir.
I'll say you're a hell of a wide receiver, but even better person. I say, what separates Shamar Bridges, the athlete, from
Uh-huh.
the man outside the sport?
It's a switch though. I ain't gonna lie. Like
Mhm.
I am right now. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I'm always calm.
Yeah.
I'm always calm. Like even on the field, even my teammates will tell you, like I stay calm because I feel like if you too high, too low, if you're an emotional roller coaster, you can't really be as focused as you want to be. Like especially playing the receiver position, playing offense. Like there's so much to remember and know and keys that you have to like have in your mind and stuff. It's such a mental game, especially at the professional level. So you can't be too high, too low. You can't be all over the place with your emotions. You gotta stay even keeled. I feel like the best players are able to stay as calm as possible in all situations. So that's why I feel like I've been able to perform in different moments because I'm able to just to relax. But it is a different switch as far as competitive nature, and you could definitely see that change still. Like I am very who I am off the field, but it is a different flip. It is a different switch. It is a different type of I don't know how to explain it when I'm on the field. It's a different mindset, like like Kobe, like that Mamba mentality, like just kind of like you gotta switch it to a different gear, and I definitely just had that competitive nature within me. Whether some people are able to see it or not, because I kind of stay real calm. That's the change, but I'm still me. Like I feel like how I am supportive of the people off the field, I am on the field with my teammates and stuff like that, encouraging. I'm gonna love guys up, all those type of things. But I think it's the competitive nature, man. Like the fire, and wanting it. You know what I'm saying? And even like just I think being a little more outgoing too sometimes on the field, depending on what my teammates and how they have fun. I feel like I feed off of them, and that helps me have fun a little bit more outgoing, and go out there and dance around and just have fun with the game. So I think people see that more out of me on the field than they do off the field. So
Yeah. Yeah, man. I got a few
yeah,
rapid fire questions, man. I'll say stats or impact.
you said what?
Stats or impact.
Oh, impact,
I'll say a crossing route or a deep route.
deep route,
And I'll say one word that defines your faith.
strong.
So I'll say, what was your toughest moment in football that strengthened your faith in God?
Yeah, probably 2023, man. I tell you, that was what. Hey, man, they ain't. Listen, I'm telling you. But anybody that's lost a job, it's all the same thing. People just, when they see football, they look at it, on a high pedestal and the professional stuff and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it's the same thing as anybody that's go out there and they lose their job, and now you on the street, you trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
And then the only difference is I can't go apply to go be another football player for another team or something like that. My agent has to hit them up, and I guess that's like applying, but they have to allow me. They have to look at it. They have to want me. Like I have to wait for it. It's
Mm-hmm.
just, it's just so, it's just, man, it's such a tough process, and there's thousands of other really good, talented guys that want a spot as well. So going from this everything going up to boom hitting rock bottom, and I couldn't do nothing about it. And then especially seeing other teams acting like they're going to sign me, and then I see they go sign somebody else because that person didn't get injured, or that person has a little more experience than me. That hurts, man. So you're just sitting on the street, and then I had to, I moved from Baltimore and moved, sold all my stuff, moved back to Jacksonville, and now you kind of back home, and everybody's trying to figure out what's going on, and that's just not the attention you want, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Because everybody's got questions to figure out what's up. Everybody just seeing you here and doing all this stuff with all these guys, and now you back home, and that was just a tough time, but man, God, it made me stronger. It made me really depend on God. And I think, man, God bring you through certain things to make you lean on him even more. You know what I mean? And shoot, even when I was in Hamilton, all these good things going on, you still gonna go through certain stuff that's gonna make you lean on him. You know what I'm saying? And so to this day, like I feel like me going through that in every single situation, it just made me more mature in my faith, and made me understand the life lessons, and then it also showed me, like, with my mindset and the work ethic I have, but also the faith I have in God, and just listening to him, and never for leaving him, because even though those times I would be frustrated and mad, like why he didn't do this, why he didn't do that, like it always worked out in the end. So it's like every time I go through something, I'm like, all right, I already know something gonna come through with this. I'm just gonna keep doing what I do. It's gonna
Mm-hmm.
pay. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen, and because he always does something. So that's just like really true faith and knowing, like, his plan. Before, I probably just kind of struggle, like I don't know what's going on. Now it's just like I'll have my moments where I'll be like, man, what's going on? Like it's just like, and then I'll be like, but I know he gonna work it out. Let me just keep, you know what I'm saying? So
Definitely.
yeah,
I could agree with you on that, man. Definitely.
trust.
When I think it was 2023, 2024, I can't remember, man. It's like a whole year. Working in tech, doing good. Got laid off. All type of stuff started happening.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, it is the same, man. Ain't no. It's like, bro, I had this, got a family, got this, I got a house, I own a home. Like I got stuff I got to do. Like
Yeah, man.
stuff's gonna keep coming. And I think that at some point, I said, oh, I'm gonna put this in God's hand. Like for a couple of days, I'm gonna be honest, I was mad, like all this stuff, and I could say it's probably like a week time. I ain't gonna lie, but it was like God was like, I got you. Like you're gonna be fine.
Uh-huh.
And even though it
Mm-hmm.
took time, when anything happened now, Shamar, man, I literally, yeah, I'm gonna be humanistic and dang, this happened.
Yep.
But I never say why me. I say, okay, why not me? What can we do to get better? I know
Yep.
God got me. It's cool. And
Yeah.
I'm actually now glad stuff happened. I'm like, okay, that happened. All right,
Yeah.
cool. Something good
Yeah.
coming. Something coming.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
I get it.
Exactly. Like,
I definitely
yeah.
have
So,
to. Yeah. You
and
have to
sometimes
go
you
through
look at,
things.
yeah,
You have
you got to, you got to. It makes the journey, it makes the story better. It makes the
hmm
journey better. It makes everything just like it makes the whole thing worth it, and yeah, when you at the end of it, you be thinking like, dang, like I understand why
Yeah.
this happened or whatnot. And so that's how I feel, with my whole career and anything in my life. I mean, I done been through everything you could think of in my football career, from high school, college, the NFL to the CFL, everything. And it made me who I am now. And I definitely feel like, I could be an inspiration to somebody else behind me, you know what I'm saying? So that's it. Sometimes it's not just about you, but who is watching you and
hmm
who you can help too. So that's what I got. That's what I've tried to get better over the years. Is not the initial that to have my initial reaction be better.
hmm
Not to be as human, even though we are human, but try to make that initial reaction like how it is after a couple of days. I let it. I want that one. I want that to be the first thing
Yes.
I think of. That's the thing I'm working on. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Brother. Shoot, that leads to my next question.
sure.
What advice would you give to someone that is going through those hard times, that's in the sport,
Yeah.
says like, dang, I got to make this decision. I don't want to move. I don't want to do this. But you want to play the sport. Like, what would you tell them?
Uh, I mean, I ain't gonna lie. If you want it, then you'll do well, if you want something or just a
Mhm.
sport or whatever thing in life, long as it's within the morals and the ethics of you and what you believe in and how you are as a man or a woman or whatever, you know what I'm saying? You'll do everything, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like you'll go to the furthest extent, you know what I'm saying? You'll travel, you'll do this, you do that, spend the money because at the end of the day, like also like I spend money on training, I spend money to get treatment. I do that because it's spent it costs money to make money. Like
Mhm.
I gotta take care of my body, I gotta get myself right for the season, and that's in the return I'm gonna make the money off of performing because of the stuff I did now. So you got to be able to invest in yourself, and you can't just I would say for the young people, men and women, you can't try to stay in this little box and expect to do crazy things, man. You got to get out there and you got to do all the crazy things and invest and do a bunch of different things, into yourself to be able to give yourself a chance for
Yeah.
what you want. And so, man, I would just say, man, you gotta go to the further extent. Like for me, for example, when I was in high school, like, shout out to Potter's House Christian Academy. We was a small high school, so we didn't get a lot of just shine, and looks from college. Like we had to go to the extra limp to start getting those, college looks and stuff. And a lot of things I did was I was just out there, I would just look at different colleges, a lot of smaller colleges that I could see myself going to,
Mhm.
because at the time I just wasn't, I was a late bloomer. So I knew where I was going to be around, around the level I was going to be at. I'm not setting my stuff to University of Florida or nothing like that. Like I knew I wasn't just ready for that level yet. As I got to college and developed to my body, then I felt like I could do that. But at that time, I knew
Mhm.
where I was going to be around, and I just started setting my highlight tape and all my stuff, with a paragraph about my GPA, my test scores, all that. I sent it to all different types of colleges all throughout Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Bama, Tennessee, everywhere, probably anywhere you could think of. And
Mhm.
I was sending it to receiver coaches, head coaches, OCs, all that. I mean, I wish I could probably pull up my old email, and I was saying, and I was putting the work in. Now, don't get me wrong, I had a guy named Coach Mac. He was doing stuff for me like that. And all the other coaches, the guys, they'll try to pull their play, but I was also putting in a ton of work on my
Mhm.
own. You know what I'm saying? And so that's because I wanted it though, and I wanted to play football, and I wanted to do that stuff. I wanted to make it to the next level, and
Mhm.
so that's the type of stuff I'm saying. What I mean? You just got to go to the extra level. If you really want it, you're going to do what you need to do to get it. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like when I see people that don't do the extra stuff, I don't really believe they really want it. Like, talk is just words for real. So,
Yeah. Definitely, you're
yeah.
right. I had the same thing with podcasts. People say, "You do this, or you bring how?" The biggest thing be like, "How you bring on this person?" I'm sorry, I build relationships.
Yeah.
Actually, like the people I interview, I
Yeah.
reach out to them and check in on them.
Yeah.
And I'm doing this because it's bigger than me.
Yeah.
I like doing it though.
Yeah.
Like I could do it for free. I could do it in my sleep. Like
Mm-hmm.
not like, oh dang, I got to interview Shamar today. No, I get to interview Shamar today.
Yep. Yep.
So I
Yep.
think that
Yep.
if people went into it with that type of perspective in anything they do, they'll be successful. If they
Yeah.
loved it.
Yeah.
If
And
they loved it.
you ain't think about what you finna get out of it and nothing like that. You just enjoy your craft. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And that's what makes it all. That's what makes it all worth it. Even me, like I look on your page to see some people, and I'm like, dang, how you got contact with this person? This person,
Uh,
like, I'm like, dang, like, but that I know you putting that work in, like, and you really enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? And so that's just a testament. It shows like what you doing. You know what I mean? Because
thank you.
everybody ain't able to get in contact and do all these things if they not putting that work in. They just trying to do the bare minimum and think they could do it. Like, nah, you got to go to the extra because yeah, like think how many other people want to interview them or whatnot. So yeah, man, for sure.
I say before we do close, we got just a few more questions, man. I say, what's your it factor in this time in your life now,
In football, just life period.
outside of football, life period?
Man, I think man, just adapting to whatever God throw my
Hmm.
way. I think that's probably one of the best things I've been able to do in my life, and that adds to football as well. But just in my life period, I think everything that God throws my way, I think I've been able to adapt and be able to ask him for understanding and strength and guidance. And then I just get through it. And I don't like to say figure it out because I don't want to say I'm the one figuring it out, but I ask him to help me. And then I just take my steps and meet him halfway where I need to do. So I would say that, and just like I said, just even when whatever, little obstacle thrown my way, I just always kept my faith. I never gave up on him. But just adapting to whatever it is. And whether it's like I said, going from Baltimore to Canada, or going from playing one role this season to this season, or just in life period, just whatever God hands me. I think I do a pretty good job at adapting, and I pray I can continue to do that. So yeah.
I appreciate you can, man. I know you can. I know you can, man.
Yeah, for sure.
You sign autographs. You stay out to
Yeah.
practice. You stay out to games. You volunteer.
Yeah.
You're always helping out HBCUs.
Mm.
And I always see you helping, man, and doing it for others. I'll say, why is it important to help others, man, and to pour into the next generation?
Man, because that's what it's all about, man. Like, you know, unfortunately, like we in a business where, it's a lot of athletes is all about self
Hmm.
and all about themselves. And for me, it's all about, a quote by I want to say, well, I think it was a quote that where I trained at in Georgia, in Atlanta area. It said,
Hmm.
"Good players." I want to say it's good players. It was something about good players this, but great players, I think good players maybe help themselves or something like that, but great players inspire others. And then there was another thing, and that was a big thing that I always had kept in my phone. And then Kobe said something about I think it's pretty much a quote that was pretty much saying what makes you great is, inspiring the next generation. I think that's what makes you great. Like
Yeah.
that's why you have certain players and certain people that are just always talked about more than others because yeah, this person is great, but they might have just not inspired other players like that. But this person was really a great player. But everybody, the athletes gravitate to him because how much he inspired and poured into him. And so and because in the Bible, they always talk about helping others and serving others.
Mhm.
I think we always talk about serving God, but we really serve others. Jesus washed people's feet. You know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. So I feel like it's super important to serve others, to inspire the next generation, to motivate, to give them something that they can look up to, and show them that they're able to. Because I'm not somebody that was 5-star or did all that. I got the story that's for the regular person.
Right.
That's like, not like the anomaly, like the 5-star and he had this and that. Nah, like I got the average Joe type of story that's trying to make it. And it's like, well, shoot, he did that, John. Like, shoot, I can do it too. So that's my type of thing. And then, like, I've always been a football geek my whole life. So I went to Jackson Jaguar practices and games and Florida Gator stuff and all that. And just getting autographs from players and all that was such a big thing to me. I still got those books at my mama house with the signatures like Fred Taylor and all that.
Mhm.
And that always meant so much to me. So I said, if I ever get put in that position, I'm gonna do the same thing. And so I was in Baltimore, I was in Canada. Since I'm in Canada, I always stay out there as long because I know like that little bit, giving a glove or giving a signature or whatever, that right there can like, make a person's day, make a kid's day, can inspire somebody. And I think it's super cool that like just like me, that same person will be able to have something of me that they can look back years from now. You know what I'm saying? So I think, man, like it's just super important. I just try to think about more than me. And I think that's how I'm gonna try to make myself great, not just by playing, but the impact I can have on people. So
Definitely,
that's what it's about.
definitely. And I'll say my closing question is this, man. I worked on this one a little bit. I said, from the Potter's house, man, playing high school football in Florida,
Yeah. Yeah.
to Fort Riley State University, and you had another university or college before that,
Yeah.
to Baltimore, to now the Hamilton Tigers, and all you stayed you. Um, did you ever imagine that you would be here when you was in high school, middle school, just trying to pee-wee? Like, dang, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna
Yeah.
try to do it.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you this. I know people didn't expect me to be here.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people that probably expect me to be here. I know that people in my life, always believed in me and stuff, but at the same time, they probably always thought, the back of my mind, like, dang, that's probably tough, you know what I mean? But I would say for this, just realistically, like, there would be times I'd be like, dang, can I do it? But I always felt like since I was a kid, I was gonna do something. You know what I mean? I always felt like that, and I always had that itch, and I feel like that was the Holy Spirit, and I just didn't know at the time because I was just young. But I always felt like I was gonna be something. It was always just told me. I just always knew I was gonna do something special. Like I always felt like I was something special. I always felt like I was gonna do something big, and then as time goes on, I was like, man, I'm gonna do this football stuff. And it's so crazy when I look back at stuff like back when I was in like college at the college previously that I went to Fort Valley. When I was like 18, 19, like I had stuff about me going to the NFL and playing professional football, and I wasn't even doing nothing really at that time. And I was like, I can't even believe that I was like that delusional to
Yeah.
even believe
You
like
gotta
I
be
can, you know what I'm
delusional.
saying? Yeah.
Be
And I
delusional.
was extremely delusional. Like when I was at Fort Valley and I was balling, yeah, it's still delusional because it's still a long shot. But it was like people could see it. Like it was like it looked obtainable. Like people was like, all right, he kind of got something. Where
Yeah.
I was at the school before, and especially at high school, there was like no people probably thought no way. Especially the odds. So I can't even believe I was that delusional at the time. But that's the reason why. I was that delusional. I just kept believing. And then even to this day, like the things I feel like I can do still and want to do is super delusional. And you gotta have it. You gotta have delusional confidence. And you gotta be delusional about your dreams or you ain't gonna never be able to accomplish the unaccomplishable. So yeah, I always felt like in the back of your mind, you always thinking like, dang, can I? But I always thought like, yeah, I'm gonna do something. Like I think I'm gonna do it. Like I always believed it. And to really look back and be like, dang, I really did this job. I'm like, whoa, this is crazy.
That's when you
So
be like, I did it. Yeah, really.
yeah, no, trust me. I'm telling you, like sometimes I look back and I look back at stuff when I was in Baltimore with all these guys. I'm like, dang, I cannot believe I really did this. And then I look at the stuff when I've been in Canada and look at the stuff that I've been doing and being up there with those guys. Like when we played in the playoffs, that was one of the big moments for me last year when we played in the playoffs
Oh, I was
because
watching. I was in there.
yeah,
I was
yeah,
watching.
that was probably the craziest game I feel like I've ever played in from Canada, NFL, college. That was probably the craziest game I ever played in because that crowd was so into it, and that was my first playoff game. So the intensity was like nothing I've ever been in and been involved in. And I remember just us walking to go out to enter the stadium, and all the crowds and all black and stuff. And I could just remember thinking in my mind, like, this is the stuff, the moments I dreamed of as a kid. Like, this is what I always wanted to do. This is what I always wanted to be a part of. And that was like, those type of moments was like, wow, I can't believe I really did this. Cause like, I was always the underdog, the one that was doubted, one that people thought was pretty good, but they didn't think I was gonna be nothing for real. And then to look fast forward and like I'm the one doing this stuff, it's like can't I don't know. It's crazy, bro. Like I can't even really explain how I feel about it.
Yeah,
Like
man.
wow, yeah. So yeah, that delusional confidence. I always did believe it, you know what I mean? But everybody like, always gonna have those thoughts like, can I? But yeah, I definitely did, bro, and I think that's the reason why. You can ask my mom; she'll always say like, "Yeah, that boy always believed that junk." Like even when it didn't feel like it, she'll always be like, "He believed it." For sure. So
Yeah, man. So I have my. Do you have any questions for me? But before, man, I gotta say this. Thank you, Shamar, Mr. Bridges.
yes, sir. Appreciate
I
it.
just want to say thank you. For your consistency and who you are.
Yes, sir.
Your faith isn't seasonal; it's every day.
Sir.
Thank you for that. Thank you for your impact. It isn't just on the field and the way you give back. Serve and represent something bigger than yourself. That speaks louder than any stat line could ever. So thank you.
No doubt.
You're a hell of a baller, but you're always you, man. You Shamar.
I
Like my wife
appreciate it.
today was like, "You interviewing Shamar?" Oh, tell him I said, "Hey, man, that's what's up. I'm
Oh yeah,
glad
tell her I
y'all
said
stay
what's
in
up.
touch."
Yeah, tell her I
I
said
told
what's
him,
up.
definitely
Yeah.
go in and tell her. But yeah, man. Thank you.
I really appreciate that, bro. For real, that means a lot. Like,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? We do a lot of interviews and little stuff like that. You don't hear stuff all the time. Like, but our relationship different, But
Yeah, we
we
family,
found,
man.
but
I
we
got you.
found, but I really appreciate that, man. That means a lot to me, bro. Like, and it makes me just kind of, I think it motivates me even more to do more. like to take that next step in the community or just for people, period. So I really appreciate you, man.
No problem.
Definitely.
Look,
Yes,
you
sir.
ever need anything, let me know. Like I always say.
Yeah.
And do you happen to have any questions for me?
Yeah, I'll probably say maybe what do you I would say what have you learned what have you learned from doing this? Because you said about 6.5 years now, right?
Hmm.
So what have you learned from the beginning to now as far as interviewing people and stuff like that? And would you do anything differently
Yeah.
or,
Uh, I think the biggest thing I learned is it's important to, like I was saying earlier, build relationships with people.
yeah.
Don't just see their careers some way, even with
Mm-hmm.
the most famous to the most common working day people. See people as people, meet them where they are,
Mm-hmm.
and allow them to tell their stories.
Right.
And my biggest thing I would tell myself early on was continue to be delusional in doing what you do. That's gonna be my word right there. And I heard it before we talked about it, but
Mm-hmm.
literally in living it, Shamar. Uh, my biggest thing was beginning. You like, I can't do this. They ain't gonna reach out back to me. But to see it happen,
Mm-hmm.
and see people follow back with you and want to do something, even to this day, and people send people to me now, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
all right, let me see who they is. Let me see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it's just a testament to who God is, man, and who we serve. It's bigger than
Mm-hmm.
us, and the
Mm-hmm.
more positivity that you put out, that's the thing that I got to see that I'm happy to see now that I actually live what I spoke about.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm
Sure.
not trying to do it to get anything for anybody. Like I'm trying to do it from a place of peace. You know,
Right.
I'm glad I do that, man. And
So
it's just real cool to see the impact it does for people. Or they tell me, man,
so
I seen this episode. You interviewed, or you did, how you did that? Are you still stay in touch with? I just be like, yeah, man, they good people.
yeah, you would never know if you ain't tried though. So
Yeah, you never
yeah.
know. If I never reached out to even yourself, I would have
Mm-hmm.
never knew. Be honest, my uncle saw you at a game. Like, my uncle played in Fort Valley, played for the
That's
Dallas
crazy.
Cowboys, and got
Oh,
hurt.
what's his
Got hurt.
name?
His name is Jackie Dollison. If you've seen his
Okay.
name in there somewhere, he's like the first team to play on the first HBCU team to play on TV, play
Oh,
on TV,
dang. Okay.
and very good. He was like, "Hey, yeah, nephew, man, we got some." I always ask him, like, "Yeah, what good players y'all got down there?" And he's like, "It's Bridges. He's from Florida. You know how Florida is." I'm like, "All right, cool." They do the first thing. You know how Florida is. They got the greatest players, man. But I want to see him do good. I think he had got hurt or something. He's like, "Yeah, he got hurt, but then he came back better." And I was like, "All right." That's when I started
Uh-huh.
watching. And
Yeah.
from then to see you graduate with my sister, man, I was like, "Yep, gotta get him. He's a good
Mm-hmm.
dude. He got the degree." And I knew it
Mm-hmm.
before you knew it. I was like, "He going to the league." I was like, "I already know." And to see it now, 2026,
Yep.
is like I'm thankful that my prayers continue to be answered for you.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
know,
Appreciate that.
that's what I see in people that I bring on the show. I'm thankful
Yeah.
that I can pray for them and it actually works. It helped me know
Yes,
that
sir.
I'm
Yes,
doing
sir.
something right.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So yeah,
And
man.
it's still be going, man, because man, like you see people and they go for a year and they be done, a couple years and they done, and the next thing
Mhm.
they're done, or they go and they try to play fizzle out because this business is so difficult. It's so many
Yeah.
guys and it's so much pressure and it's so much thrown at you. And to be able to make it through the first wave, the second wave, then you make it and it's like, all right, I'm still standing. So it's like the full circle moment for us to been talking because when we was talking the first me and we had our first interview we had was 2022, probably around this time,
Yeah.
2022.
Mhm.
And I was in the process of I was in the pre-draft process. So I was staying at a place that my agent had got me and a couple of other clients that we was staying at for training for the draft. And that was I didn't shoot. I was just hoping that, hey man, this y'all work out. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And then it's like now, like 5 years later, like it's crazy. It's
Yeah,
crazy,
it
bro.
worked out. And
Yeah.
mean, people ask even about you, they'd be like, or when it was happening, they're like, man, yeah, man, we gotta make sure he get in, man. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I can't do nothing. I can't make that
Yeah.
type. I said, I know
Yeah.
what I can do. I know something more powerful than all that.
Oh,
And
duh.
to see where
Exactly.
you are now, that's even why I probably check in. I'm like, man, you all right? All right, cool. I'm like, all right, he good. Cool.
Yeah.
And it makes me wonder, I'm like, dang, how many other either young or people that's in the league or in the CFL or any league or any working place, how many people can I have that type of impact on to make them want to say, you know, I'm gonna go talk to Jerry, man, because
Yeah.
he don't want nothing. He really want to see me win. You know,
Uh-huh.
that's what it
And
means.
that's why people like people like that, like we appreciate that type of stuff and people in this field because it is a lot of people that a lot of players come across people that don't really want to don't care about you genuinely. They just
Yeah.
care about what they can get out of you, you know what I mean, or the attention or whatever. And so you run into people that really, you know what I mean? It's like, and I've been blessed because I keep a tight circle. My family, my friends, my loved ones, everybody that's around me, like they all really care and genuinely about me. But I'm always very preserved. If you notice, I'm not out here hanging with this person. I've always been very, I always keep a good guard from folks. But a lot of people that's out here running around doing whatever, they run into a lot of people, and that's how they get into situations because people don't really care about you. They just care about, who you are. And so somebody like yourself, when you run into somebody like you, that's why they gravitate to you because they like, dang, like, people miss that genuine relationships. Like, especially like the guys that hit really big in the NFL and the first rounder guys, they get so much thrown at them. They miss those relationships that they had in high school because that was the last time when stuff was genuine. You know what I mean? For me, like I didn't have that type of stardom, but I still got to experience some of that, you know what I mean? And you still do to this day a little bit, but for those type of guys especially, I mean, they have so much thrown at them, so much money, so much fake energy thrown at them that like when they run to somebody like you, they run to it because they like, dang, like this is where I can be myself, and so that's why I definitely appreciate you, bro, because it's a lot of guys need that, man, for real.
I'm gonna continue.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
continue
for
to
sure.
do it, man. I ain't going nowhere, and thankful to have you, brother.
I appreciate you,
I
dog.
can't wait to see the season, but I continue to see you training.
Yeah,
You're doing
yeah,
your thing, so I ain't
yeah,
mad at that, man.
yeah, yes, sir, yes,
And
sir. Now we got a lot more to come, man. This is the beginning, man. I
yes,
ain't,
sir. We got about
I,
20 more episodes to do. You
yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Nah, I swear. Yeah, I don't even feel like I scratched the surface of what I could be like
You
on
have
and off the field. So, yeah, this y'all just getting going. It's been a feel good story so far, but this ain't like no conclusion. Like this we just getting warmed up for real. So I'm excited, man.
yes, sir. Well, look,
Yes,
I'll
sir.
talk to you soon, man. Thank you so
Yeah,
much for what you're doing, and
well done.
look, keep changing the narrative, man.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you, bro. Yeah, I got that book. I got the book in the room.
Uh-huh.
My mama rocked with it heavy too. So
Oh yeah.
it's still in there right there. I had actually just seen it today. It was
Uh-huh.
in there. I was looking for something. It was right there, and I had that your book, a couple other books stacked up, and I was like,
Mhm.
dang, boy, it kind of brought back memories. So
Yeah, I got one. I'm writing one now, so I'm writing a comic,
okay,
man. It's
so
football meets superpowers,
okay,
and
most
I
done,
definitely get that to you. I
most
don't
done,
know if I
got
have it
to
before the season, but I just text you, tell
for
you
sure.
everything. But bruh, when I tell you it's about to be something else,
Yeah,
I'm in the third chapter. I'm doing 5. It's real good.
most done. I gotta get that. I'm gonna post it up too when I get it for sure.
Yes, indeed, brother. Well, I'll talk to you soon, man.
All right, bro. Appreciate you, man.
All right, man.
Sir.